What is the key statistics you need to know? One is that the survey was conducted through a running total between January to May of this year. Why did we do that? We started off in January, but can you imagine when you're doing 87,000 interviews, you can't finish in 1 month. It's not possible. So what we do is for every constituency, we do specific number of study surveys in January, and we continue on until May. And that is how we then can, even if something was happening in your constituency at some point in time, if we do a running total, then it averages out, because then it becomes fair, right? So we covered all that, and I've told you about most of the studies were done through computer-assisted telephone interviews. That is, we have a call center. Some of you have seen our call center. And it is an 80-seater call center. It can basically do 2,000 interviews a day if it's a short questionnaire. And if it is a long questionnaire, it takes about 3 days to do that. It's much faster than when you do face-to-face. Everything is then fed very quickly into our data, into Kevin's portal, and is able to analyze the data and provide dashboards almost with a click of a button. Yeah? I've talked about the rating scale, so that's not imperative, but that's how the rating scale literally works. If you see that rating scale there, Jordan insisted because he's a part of CBE. CBC. My son is 20. Huh? CB? CBE, CBC. And the summer, we have to put those things there. Needs urgent attention, needs improvement, because that's what you people passed as law now. That's what our children get. They don't get A, B, C, D, E. Me, I was still in that, using the alphabet, but now it is that. But you'll see a lot of A, B in the report, because I wrote it using the old system, unless you changed it last night. So you see what those scores are. Those are the samples for each county. And that's how it gets to. Why is the sample so big? The sample is very big because we had to boost the samples for the constituencies to get a good margin of error for each constituency, to be fair. A minimum sample of even 500 interviews for a county is enough to get, a good feel of what the county is what, feedback is coming from the county. But in essence, we were very keen that we cover all the wards. And maybe you know that we saw you in Mombasa, but we also cover the constituencies well enough that we can rate in fairness, right?
And especially people in the political space, because they are doing their job.
One of the things we've asked the respondents is, what is it that is important to you when you're rating your elected leader? What's the first thing? And you see that the first thing that they mentioned there is delivery of promises. So when you see the numbers, and the reason why you're here, perhaps you know better than I do, it certainly cannot be that it's because you didn't deliver on your promises. Quite to the contrary, I think the reason why you're sitting here is because the electorate feels that you've delivered on whatever promises you made pre-election or during the campaign period. That there is accountability and transparency in the way you operate, and then of course development is a very critical thing. Whether it is a core function of yours or not, the electorate actually sees an intersection between your role and development, as you can see there. For the MPs, it is really very critical, critically intertwined with CDF and the use and allocation of CDF. And then, we also see their accessibility, how you performed compared to past elected leaders. So are you better than your predecessors? What are you doing better than them is also very critical. So you can see that there. And then you can also see that it is the personal interaction and experience with the leader. So that general, feeling that the leader is accessible, the leader, they don't disappear after election, you can reach them, is critical, as you've seen 70% mentioned. Debates and legislation is also important, but mentioned at 7% in comparison to how you deliver your promises. The bills and policies, which is linked to participation on the House, in the House is also important. Engagement in your public forum and town halls with the constituents. And how media portrays you is also mentioned. So those are the things that we look at, because we wanted to know, well, what is it that is really making you decide on the scores that you've decided on when you give 5 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 or indeed 10 out of 10 as some of them did.
I know exactly what I need to do even today. But the question we ask ourselves as Kenyans,
we will give you this when you get your booklet. One of the things that we feel is that there is sometimes an information halo in terms of media usage, and it's important to just understand where the world is going. I think you're very clear that social media is key. As you can see, it's now number 2 to legacy media. But you can also see that community meetings is also critical, as is word of mouth, and we didn't put that ourselves. That opinion polls came from, in fact, I've not seen it. But it was also mentioned as was one of the ways that people get information. So without much ado, I think we're now at the point where we can start with the rating itself.
And I would request
beauty first, right? Amma? Beauty. Yes. That is a no-brainer. Beauty and brains first. So, I think one of the things that we've seen, not in just this study, I thought we could just bring in some information from other studies, it's just the challenges, the inherent challenges that the women reps face. Maybe we are, the people we've talked to and our understanding is wrong, and you can give some guidance when you are allowed a few minutes. But we see that women reps face a very difficult and different public expectation challenge. They are meant to, represent. They are meant to do advocacy. They are meant to deal with inclusivity, particularly for women, youth, persons living with disabilities, and other vulnerable groups. So what we've seen is that women are then expected to work a lot harder than they have within their wherewithal, particularly with regards to resources, to make their mandate visible and understood and valued. So you can see, but this is actually what we saw.
And especially those who are.
Although we know that the citizens rating is not a constitutional exam. So you will need to, if you're going to be a woman rep, just find out how you can get them to feel that position more than they currently do. Because when we saw the ratings for the women reps was significantly lower than for other elected groups. And I think it's because of that information or knowledge gap in terms of what it is that women reps should do, right?
And in the December of 2027, Kenyans are.
That is what they said the rules are. I'm not going to
and that is why I
believe on that. But who then are the outstanding women? The top woman rep with 67% was from Kirinyaga County. She's out of the country. She's represented. Okay. Is Honorable Njeri Maina. I spoke to her on Sunday. This is the second time. She was top last time as well. With a lower percentage, so her percentage has gone up by about 11 points. And then the second women rep is from West Pokot, Honorable Rael Kasiwai with 61. Then we have at 60% we had a tie for number 3 for Pauline Lenguris of Samburu and Honorable Elsie Muhanda of Kakamega. The rest in that top league are there. So we had at number 6, we had Tukana, Honorable Cecilia Asien, and then at number 7 we had Nandi, Honorable Cynthia Chepkosgei, and number 8 we had Honorable Bensuda Joyce Atieno of Homa Bay. At number 9 we had a tie with Kitui Women Rep and Tarakanike Women Rep, and then at number 11 we had 4 players, Mandera, Enru, Marquette and Machakos. Jovin, I don't know how you want us to play. Do we honor them now or do we do it later? I first present. Oh, okay. I present everything. So, okay. But you've seen the list. We are only doing top 25. I thought we had said, is this the right presentation? How is it? Okay, put the next slide. It's me to put it. I'm looking at my computer, guys. I'm not a J. I'm not using the clicker. Is it that one? Excellent. So now you can see the top MPs per region. In Mombasa, the top women rep was, in Coast County is Honorable Zanza Mohammed of Mombasa with 49%. Followed by Taita Taveta, or she tied with Zamzam. And then in Northeastern, it's the Mandera Women Rep, Umu Ken Kasim. In Eastern, it's Makweni Women Rep, Rose Mumo. In Central, we already know, is Jane Jerry. In Rift Valley, we have Honorable Ryan Chekemoi. And Western, it's Elsie Muhanda. And then we have, in Nyanza, we have Homa Bay Women Rep, who was the top with 54%. The most improved women reps are there. We have them. We have them. I'm at the clicker, sorry. So we have the top improved is the one from Nandi. And then we have the women rep from Kajiado, second, and then from Mandera, who improved by 15 ranks. And we also have, Honorable Zamzam, you see the improvement. Samburu, we can see the improvement from number 15 to number 3. And also we see the Laikipia women rep who has also improved.
The counties that have participated in those kind of
why has the performance of women reps been slightly lower than the rest? It is really the lack of clear roles and responsibilities in the public perception. They are not clear, as I've mentioned, on what it is we do, and the lack of awareness about the achievements and visibility of what it is the initiatives are all about, lack of visibility and engagement with the constituents, insufficient influence over budget, allocation, power. So you need to show them you have power. Shall we move on to senators? Because I think MPs are quite a number. So I think let's start off with senators. For the senators, one of the things that we saw is, again, senators operate in a space that is sometimes less visible to ordinary citizens. Because they represent counties, they protect devolution, they legislate and oversee county interests. But most of the work of senators happens in parliament, in committees, national debates, and institutional oversight. Rarely will you see them out there, doing stuff in the communities. Nonetheless, the practical question that the citizens ask is the senator visible in defending the county interests? Whilst a senator may be active nationally, the citizens may not feel connected to that activity and not see how it benefits the county. And the rating may therefore be, reflective of that, perception that they have. I think that's why we've seen that communication presence matters. And it is what will then translate the Senate work into county level relevance. And those are the things that the county voice lends in terms of what we saw from the perception of citizens, needs. Are they dealing with the interests of the county? Are they protecting devolution? Are they doing the oversight without witch hunting? Are they visible? And do they therefore inspire citizens' confidence? If they don't, then you may feel that you're doing the best on the floor of the house and the numbers don't show here.
Na hiyo ni haki yao kama wanasiasa, kwa sababu siasa pia ni mashindano na mashindano.
Sasa mimi, I don't know what the Kirinyaga guys were eating, but again, the top